love to hear you sing it sometime. Burns never did come back to Dunblane. If he had lived, and if he had taken up the new appointment as exciseman in Dunblane that had been announced shortly before his death, then he would have witnessed a new Dunblane woman, very different from the feisty maid of Balhaddy. In 1808, 12 years after the death of Burns, Robert Tannahill achieved an overnight and lasting sensation with his Jessie, the flower of Dunblane. The sun has gone down o'er the lofty Ben Lomond, and left the red clouds to reside o'er the scene, while lonely I stray in the calm summer gloaming to muse on sweet Jessie, the flower of Dunblane. How sweet is the briar with its soft folding blossom, and sweet is the birk with its mantle of green, but sweeter and fairer and dear to this bosom is charming young Jessie, the flower of Dunblane. From 1808 onwards, it was Jessie who set the standard for Dunblane womanhood. Sweet, charming, gentle, above all, genteel. Gentility became, and to some extent still is, the benchmark in Dunblane. Those ladies who shop at Marks are just that little bit more genteel than those who get their food in Tesco. And whether it's Tesco woman, or Marks woman, or Waitrose woman, what they all agree about is that when it comes to gentility, Dunblane woman is more genteel than Bridget Allen. I've got one more song to share with you before I finish. Almost entirely forgotten in the 21st century, the Bob of Dunblane was widely popular at the time of Burns. Burns collected it, and in its body version it found its way into the Merry Muses of Caledonia, which he circulated privately among his laddish friends. What had started out as an innocent enough song, a bob, after all, was a dance. There was enough sexual innuendo and double entendre in it to get the lads nudging and winking and chuckling feverishly. Testosterone is nothing new. For present company, the chorus with its unambiguous rhythm will be quite enough. Twa gaed to the wood, to the wood, to the wood. Twa gaed to the wood. Three came hame. And it been a we'll bob it, we'll bob it, we'll bob it. And it been a we'll bob it, we'll bob it again. Genteel it is not. And that's one of the reasons why Burns liked it. And that's not the end of it. The Bob of Dunblane acquired a life and vitality of its own, spanning new versions, and each new version bawdier than the one that went before. Genteel it is not. Now a lassie was roaming by the banks of Loch Lomond. She slipped on her dress and a wee chunk of stain. Now a parson was passing, and on her took passion. He lifted her up, and he carried her hame. Now he fed her, and clad her, and into bed led her, and knew that wee lassies a suffering with shame. For he jumped in beside her, and started to ride her, and knew that wee lassies the hoora Dunblane. Genteel it is not. Next version. The devil fell off o' the head of Ben Lomond, and skinned o' his hearse on a great muckle stain. There was an old wifey took pity upon him, and carried him in till her house in the glen. She fed him, she clad him, she in the bed laid him. The wily old devil wouldn't lie him alane. She in her aside him, and they fell a-riding, and there they made Jessie, the flower of Dunblane. And here you have it. Genteel Jessie meets the merry muses. The vigorous, earthy tradition that owed so much to Robert Burns. Jessie, the very model of refined Dunblane womanhood, is either the offspring of a lecherous man of the cloth, or the offspring of a randy old wifey and the devil himself. I admitted earlier that understanding the eternal complexity that is woman is beyond the capacity of men's brains. I had hoped that by resurrecting some old Dunblane songs, I might throw some light on Dunblane women. But maybe I've only added confusion to complexity. Be it the Maid of Balhaddy, or the Flower of Dunblane, or 21st century Dunblane women, they remain an endless mystification and an endless fascination. So fetch to me a pint of wine and fill it in a silver tassie, that I may drink, before I go, a service to my bonny lassie. I call on you, gentlemen, to stand and raise your glasses to celebrate your bonny lasses.